Welcome to Binge. I'm Alex Jones.
And I'm Harry Judd. Well, this week, Al braved her kids' Spring Serenade.
While Harry had the most fantastic afternoon at Kidz Bop. And our lovely guest today is Nicki Chapman. We talk about Escape to the Country, of course. She gives us all the behind-the-scenes gossip, which we absolutely lap up every single minute of it.
And she had some brilliant recommendations, but also some quite surprising recommendations.
How's your week been?
Well, the most recent thing I did, on Saturday, I took Lola to Kidz Bop. Have you ever heard of Kidz Bop?
You said yes.
Were you invited as well?
Yeah. We could have had a binge day outlook.
Well, do you know what? I took Lola.
I just thought it'd be horrendous. I didn't tell Ted.
So me and Lola do this daddy-daughter days, right?
Yeah,
so we always have done. And last year, I heard about this Kidz Bop concert. So I knew about Kidz Bop. And I missed it in Hammersmith, which, as you know, is like 5 minutes from my house.
Yep.
And I felt so guilty. I drove her sort of 2.5 hours around the M25 to go and watch it the next day. And she absolutely loved it. And I feel like, you sort of train your children to say their pleases and thank yous. I feel like this was one of the first times she genuinely said thank you to me. When we were at that Kidz Bop concert, she turned to me and like held me and just went, "Thank you, Daddy. This is the best day ever."
Oh no, now I feel we've made a mistake.
And I was just like, that is too cute. So this year, when Kidz Bop came round again, we were there, Wembley Arena. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I was very, but I personally was very present. I was quite, I caught myself at one point. I was thinking, I am just your stereotypical dad at a pop concert, sat there with my daughter and her mate just dancing around whilst I was just like...
Miserable Harry in full swing.
And then I sort of looked to the side and there was like a few mums looking over. I thought, I just start nodding my head,
So we should explain what Kidz Bop is. It's like kids, isn't it? Doing pop songs.
Yeah.
Without any bad lyrics.
That's right. Lola's going, oh, normally they say the M word there.
What's the M word?
Motherfucker.
Shut up. I wasn't expecting that.
I know. I remember when I found out my daughter knew.
What song is that?
It's like, I can't remember. Is it Sabrina Carpenter or?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And it just changed it to Your Mother. And I heard Lola saying to her mate, that normally is the M word. And I was like,
I didn't realise that they thought that was the M word. Fine.
I know.
Oh, it's please, please, please.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
You motherfucker. That bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But now they change it to like me and your mother. Yeah,
we
instead.
just have that on Alexa all the time and I've never noticed it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There's no wonder Kit says the F word all the time. Thanks, Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my God. You've got to be careful. I mean, I've had to dive on Alexa many times across the kitchen. Stop, Alexa, stop.
I asked Alexa last night whilst I was cooking why she got an Australian accent.
And what did she say?
Well, she went into this big spiel about how, I can change her accent if she wants.
She said, I didn't really want to know the answer.
Yeah, I was like, it's all right, Alexa. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
I don't mind your accent.
Just calm down.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good daddy-daughter time.
It was, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure Teddy loves it. I mean, it's very poppy. Like, it's like
Oh, no,
proper.
he would.
Would he? Okay.
I mean, that Alexa is on full volume in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars and Rosie. If I hear that song one more time, honestly. And KSI.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Not ideal, is it?
No. So we said no to Kidz Bop, and instead we went to the Spring Serenade. Yeah.
What the hell is the Spring Serenade?
Well, the Spring Serenade is at Ted's school. So it's like a spring concert. And I should have known when we got there, this is landing some of the mums in it, but I won't name any, they might be listening. They said, what we do, we came last year and it's so horrendous. So what we do, we see them in, then we go across the road to the hotel for some wine, and then we come back for the finale.
Give a big clap.
But you see, I couldn't bring myself to do that. I was like, I'm never off work. I have to go in.
Yeah.
Charlie was like, you've dragged me here. We are going in. And it was lovely. It was like, a choir, and then it was all the musical ensembles. until the trumpet and the trombone party appeared on stage. And Charlie lost it. He just started laughing.
Really?
Uncontrollably.
Oh, no.
He said, it's just like somebody passing wind. It's so bad. I said, stop laughing, Charlie. Other people's children are on stage. Be respectful. And the more I told him, the more he couldn't stop laughing.
That's the worst thing you can do when someone's got the giggles, though.
Well, the woman next door to him started then, and it spread.
She started laughing.
Yeah, it spread
It's
like
contagious.
wildfire.
Yeah.
So these poor kids were up on stage, which is hard.
Have you never had that? Like, surely you've been in so many situations.
So many.
Like, my worst one was the Royal Variety performance where you meet the Queen and you stood in this horseshoe and we were like, it was so bizarre. We were next to like this opera singer and like Cliff Richard was to our right and Cliff Richard was going, because we were going, is it ma'am or is it mom? Like,
Ma'am rhymes with
and
jam.
And he was going, Cliff Richard just poked his head around. It's ma'am as in jam, not mom as in spam or something like that.
Spam?
It wasn't that. It was, what was it? It was ma'am as in ham,
Jam.
not, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just.
That's what they said.
And like Ozzy Osbourne was there and Slash and like the whole thing was just so
Poor
surreal.
Queen.
And the Queen was just trotting around saying loads. And the closer she got, the more and more me and Dougie started laughing. And we were uncontrollable. And Tom was literally like whacking me, being like, dude, seriously. But the more he was doing that, the worse it was getting. And I literally stuck out my hand. Dougie was first and he went, he just stared at the floor and went, Your Majesty. He just went, Your Majesty. And then he went, and I went, Your Majesty. Like literally. And there's a photo of me meeting the Queen, like literally, awful. So I feel Charlie's pain.
Yeah, well, it spread. I pretended I wasn't with him. Awful.
Was Ted involved in the concert?
Yeah, he was singing. Yeah, so year 3 just sang the first song and the last song. So those mums were right.
Oh, they were. Yeah, right,
But,
right.
however, I'm not going with Charlie again. He can't behave. That's it. Now then, what have you been watching?
I'll be honest.
No, you're not Veep again. Not still Veep.
I'm struggling to wean myself off Veep. It is just too good. But
do you know that you do a telly podcast?
I'm aware
right.
of this.
So
yes.
we need to move on now.
Yes. So what I've also done, Al, is I took the recommendation of one of our guests, Mark Wogan, and I watched Wayne. Yeah,
Okay.
well, our guest Mark, not Wayne.
Yes.
Al.
What did he say that was about? I can't remember.
So Wayne is about this 16-year-old sort of tearaway kid. He's basically like a vigilante. It's quite, to begin with, you're like, is this like a superhero thing or what's going on here? It's kind of a little bit like Zombieland vibes. But basically, he's from a broken family. His mum left when he was a kid. His dad, in the first episode, is dying of cancer. And he is basically just this vigilante who does not take shit from anyone. If anyone crosses his friends or his family or even himself, he literally just goes in and just beats them up. Okay, should we get this week's guest on?
Come on. Well, joining us now is a TV presenter who helps find people they dream home on Escape to the Country. It is one of my favourite programmes. And she presents evenings on Magic Radio. But before all that, she worked with some of music's biggest icons, from Prince to the Spice Girls. She joined forces with Simon Cowell as a judge on Pop Idol, a show that paved the way, of course, for the X Factor. And now she's here to share her top recommendations. It's Nicki Chapman.
Oh, thank you.
Nice to see you, Nicki.
Well, lovely to be here, actually. Really nice. I did note that you didn't ask for our help when you moved to the country.
Well, Nicki, I mean...
I thought I'd just go straight in on that
No,
one.
no, but
You did a good job, can I just
nearly.
say.
Do you know, the offer to be a celebrity on Escape to the Country came just after we'd found our house.
Did we ask you?
And I would have been tempted. But the thing that would have held me back was budget chat.
Well, I
Yes.
was asked to go on it as well.
Yes, I was meant to do it with you as well.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one, isn't
is.
it?
It's so
Because
tricky.
We have people that are on the show and they have a budget for £250,000. And I found this lovely lady, the most beautiful cottage down in Cornwall for that. And then we get people writing in saying, we like the bigger houses. And then you do a bigger house with a bigger budget. And then you get people saying, we like the smaller ones. I mean, most people like a big budget just to have a nose around the
Yeah,
house.
but this is, as Al was
quite
alluding
personal.
to, this is the conversation I had with Alex. I said, look, I've been asked, what do you think? I said, I feel like I can't win because
No.
if I say my budget is X, I don't want people to be like, oh, it's all right for some.
Get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's the other way, they go, oh, I would have thought he would have had more money.
Yeah.
You can't win, can you?
So true.
So I'm like, and I just thought, do you know what? No, I just can't do it.
But I love watching it. It is my sort of not
thank
even
you.
guilty pleasure, just pleasure. And over Christmas, my sister and I sat with a gin and tonic one afternoon in Pembrokeshire and we watched all of the celebrity ones.
Did you?
It was the best thing on for me over Christmas.
Oh, how lovely. I did last year's with Biggins. I couldn't do this year when we were recording because of work, but I did Biggins and it was an absolute joy to show him houses.
I bet.
We had to bleep quite a lot of it out.
Yeah.
But it was just such fun. I mean, it's lovely filming with people that are truly wanting to make a difference to their lives. And you've been through it. You have to weigh up, don't you? It's not
So
just
much.
bricks and mortar. It's
No.
It's the whole lifestyle thing because it's quite a change moving to the country. I think often people don't take that on board, but it's so lovely to see. But when you're filming it with a celebrity, it's fun because, well, when you're filming with other people, you want to make sure that they're happy, that they're standing in the right spot, that the experience is a good one for them. With the celebrity, you're like, you know what you're doing, get on with it.
Yeah, right.
But we were playing the game of, are they actually looking for a house or are they just nosing? Because me and Harry have been known to go and see some houses we've got no intention of buying. We should say that.
Yeah, I'd say that would be one of my top hobbies, to just go and look at houses. And,
In the pandemic, we toured houses. You wouldn't believe it. That was a day out. Not together.
Nothing gets me going like a floor plan, Nicki,
Yeah,
honestly.
same.
Like, I could sit and stare at a floor plan for hours and like, I would then like go home, like trace one out and then start adding bits and moving
Really?
walls. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
You could work at it. So you'd be much better than me at this. You perhaps should apply because you could say, now, if you take down this wall,
Honestly,
then you could put this in and this in.
I had my bandmates, for example, and a couple of other friends have had me go on and do viewings with them, and
That's good.
and be like, well, mate, what you could do, because I've always loved it.
He had a hotline, right, to this guy who works in Chiswick in one of the estate agents that we both know
Yeah.
for the same reason, because we were obsessed with houses. But you had a hotline, didn't you, to Chris, who worked in Whitman's & Co. Let's give them a mention. He actually texted me over the weekend. It's weird that we've both got this kind of relationship with Chris.
We are a nation of nosy people, aren't we? I mean, that's the thing. When you go around and you look at someone's house, you're like, oh, look at that on the wall. And the people, when we go and film in people's houses, I cannot believe how great they are with us because they don't change anything. They often will buy flowers, hoover, make sure it's neat and tidy, but they leave everything out. And we only pick the houses that we think are going to suit the couple or the person, the individual that we go around. But it's very giving to let a film crew into your house. It's a dream job.
is.
Can I just say
Nicki?
we're very respectful. Anyone listening, we're very respectful of the houses. Yes,
You
we'd
know
like to
what
apply.
I wonder, so when you have people, a couple or a family who want to make the move, are you part of the team that goes and looks and sees what's available?
Okay, no.
Because we would love that, wouldn't we?
So
Yeah, I'll do that.
the team, I have to give them full credit. Everyone always asks, actually, how do you make the show? So if people apply, they send in, their wish list. We've got to see if their wish list is viable straight away.
Yeah.
If you want to move to the country and you want to live in Devon, there might be
You need a budget that
restraint.
suits
Exactly.
Devon, yeah.
And also the country's more expensive than a big city, a town or a village. That's normally how it goes. And then our team, they look at what they want. Is it realistic? Yes, it is. Okay, we'll have them on the show. We want to go to that county. They decide the county, not the show, the people looking to buy. And then they do all the research, the team. And they really do spend a long time doing the research. It's much harder now because houses can go really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Then they decide on the houses. They go and have a look at them. They whittle it down to the 3 or 4. Sometimes the shows are a 4-house show. Sometimes
But then
they're
the
3.
wild card.
Then you've got the mystery house.
Yeah.
And then the people come and I literally see the house half an hour before they do. I have all the details. They go and look at the local village or some attraction and I will go meet the owners of the house, do a quick whiz around the whole house, try and remember all the facts, and then I show them the house. Yeah.
And
So-
do you often think, oh, you should have gone with that one, not that one?
Often. But interestingly enough, 3 weeks later, if you ask me about the details of the house, I probably would have forgotten. But at the time, I will remember everything. And when you're with the owners and you see how passionate they are, because we're all passionate about our own properties, aren't
Yeah.
we? But we try and do the best possible job, but also to to explain to them what's going on in the area and why the area will work for them. I think probably moving to the countryside, it's the lifestyle it's going to give you is as important, if not more important, in a way, as the bricks and mortar. Because you can have the most beautiful home, but if you don't like where you live or you're not immersed in the community, you don't give back, things like that. It's so important. But yeah, the homeowner. So that's how we do it. So we film for a week. We're with them for
Have
4
you
days.
ever looked around a house and gone, do you know what? I love this house.
Oh, yeah.
And gone, can I get the details extra, you know?
I've said to my husband, if we ever move, we're going there. I've also looked at houses where I've walked in and I'm just about to say, we walked into a house and right in front of you was a bookcase full of DVDs. Literally, that was it. And I was just about to say, well, the first thing I would do is rip that out. They went, oh, I love that. And I literally...
The people going to view it?
Yeah,
They say,
the
oh, I
people
love it.
going to view it
Really?
really love that
What,
feature.
when you open the front door?
Open the front door, that's all you saw. And I was literally...
About to say.
Yes, absolutely. And then just moved on. But the amount of houses that we see, I mean, I'm sure the other presenters are the same, that we love. And also parts of the country that I've never been to before.
Yeah,
that
that's
I adore.
quite nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you mentioned Pembrokeshire, you know, beautiful. I haven't been there that
Stunning.
many times, but just stunning. But also, I love Shropshire, the Welsh borders, you know, untouched, stunning.
I tell you though, we could talk to you all day about properties, couldn't we?
Yeah,
but
this could be a whole new podcast, actually.
I mean, we should say though that this has all come about, and we're very, very pleased that you're here, Nicki.
Yeah, not just because of your illustrious TV career. No.
But it came about because
But-
you two bumped into each other at the tip.
Yeah.
Just after Christmas. So there I am thinking, I'm going to be really clever here. I'm going to book a tip appointment in advance because I know what happens at Christmas. You know, all the recycling and everything. I'm going to go. And I look over and there's Harry and I'm like, I look shocking. It's like 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Track is on, loving it. I don't know what it is. I love going to the tip.
So
Well,
good,
again,
isn't
we
it?
can all bond over this.
Well, I thought I'd got away with it. I'm not going to say anything. You know, I like, you know, Harry needs his privacy. I'm not going to share it with anyone. Binge. There it goes. Yeah, like, the amount of people. And I was on air. I do a show on Magic Radio, Mellow Magic, and I'm on air. And suddenly my phone starts to bing through, and people are saying, "Do you know that you went to the tip?" Yeah, I know I went to the tip with Harry. Thanks very much. Yeah, and then you've obviously been talking about
well,
it.
it's just, it's something so...
We bonded, didn't we?
We did. It was like... Hi, Nicki.
over
It's
So-
glass
so
recycling.
satisfying.
you know, she knows the drill.
Anyway, we should get on, Nicki,
Yes, we should
to what
move on.
you've been watching.
Oh, where should we start?
Well, I do not know. Give us the first thing that hits you. What have you watched and loved recently?
Well,
Last few weeks.
No thanks to my Sky Dish because it went down, but Drive to Survive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
What's that?
Drive to Survive. Well, go ahead, Nicki.
Now, it's Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Netflix, yeah.
This is all about Formula One. Now, my girlfriend got a job with McLaren a few years ago. And I've never been into Formula One. I was lucky enough to go once and went round and did the pits and all of that, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
and
to the
we
paddock.
the paddock, that's it, the pits. Actually, I did go into like the pits. We were allowed to walk around the cars. Everybody was so friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come around, just don't photograph the back, don't photograph the engine, they kept saying. But my girlfriend went to work for McLaren, Christina, and she said, have you ever seen Drive to Survive? And I was like, no, what is it? I think I joined it Series 3. It's behind the scenes. It's the drama of Formula One. The villains, the heroes, what's going on, the negotiations. So if you love Formula One, you're going to like it anyway.
But a documentary, so real
Yes.
life.
And they follow them, warts and all, and it is brilliant. And they've just dropped Series 7. I think it dropped literally a couple of days ago or whenever it was, last week, yeah. I've watched 4 already, and the only reason I didn't watch more is because Sky Dish went down.
Do you know, you and I have had exactly the same experience there. I was lucky enough to once be invited up to the Formula One, and this is before I'd watched Drive to Survive. I thought I'd go for an experience, but I was a bit like, what's the deal with Formula One? Just didn't really get it. And then I started watching Drive to Survive, and I was completely just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
It's brilliant.
It's like, I love cricket, right? And I've had a lifetime of people being like, oh, cricket's so boring. And I've been that guy saying, oh, Formula One's so boring. Drive to Survive completely got me hooked. It's so good, isn't it?
so
It's the
good.
drama, it's the politics,
Yeah.
it's the deals, it's
Lando
the characters.
Norris, Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton's going over to Ferrari. The guy from Ferrari, Carlos, where's he going to go? The deals, and there's always the good cop, bad cop there, isn't there? I mean, there's been a lot on Christian Horner, which I won't go into, but they opened it with that. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, because obviously there was a lot of press about his private life this time last year. They filmed it as he's going on.
They have
press
literally
intrusion
so
and-
much access, don't they?
Yeah,
it's
they
crazy.
do.
They film.
How
They
then?
film everything.
So
the
is
drivers
it across
having
different teams? So it's,
Yeah.
because they're all very much their own
but
little
each season,
island, aren't they?
Yeah, but they film so much, and each season they'll focus on a couple of teams, and it's
Yeah.
not necessarily Ferraris and Mercedes who are at the top. It's the kind of in between teams where there's often the drivers don't get on, and there's all
Yes.
these different conflicts
And
and,
who has the
arguments.
better car out of the two drivers? I thought they'd have the same car, Harry, but they don't.
I know, and they have to let each other past in
Yeah.
races. It's all tactical, but sometimes the driver will be like, "No, I'm not letting him through," and you hear them on the radio in the races, like
It
going
is
nuts at each
thrilling.
other.
So the way it is shot is beautiful. I mean, we're all lucky because we work in the media, but it is so beautifully shot. The access is phenomenal, what they get. If you don't like swearing, perhaps don't bother watching it because it's hilarious because they swear all the time. I fell off my chair the first time I watched it. But it's a brilliant documentary behind the scenes. And you realise when I went to, must have been the UK, which is the UK's one?
Silverstone.
Oh, Silverstone, yeah.
I thought the music industry and, those sort of events had a lot of money. They are paupers in comparison to Formula One. I've never seen wealth like it. Just behind the scenes, the Winnebagos, I mean, they're whole villages, aren't they?
It's crazy.
And people are fanatical, and I sort of now can understand it.
What about the agency? Lots of people have been talking about this.
Do you know what? As soon as I saw that George Clooney was the producer, I was like, oh, hello. And Richard Gere's in it.
Nice.
Jodie Turner-Smith and Michael Fassbender, that loads of people listening
That's a
to
good
this will
cast.
go, oh, amazing. I don't really know him that well. But it's brilliant. And it's about an agent that gets recalled. I love all of this intrigue and intelligence and spying. But he falls in love with somebody when he's overseas and he comes back, gets recalled. Although he's an American agent based in London, you realise now everybody films the London skyline. It's all about the UK, not just London, but all about the UK. And then he's fallen in love with her, and then he realised he's investigating something that she's involved with. Don't want to give too much away, but if you like all that sort of spooky type stuff and intelligence, it's a drama, it's brilliant, and it's
you
just been
like-
recommissioned.
Yeah, you like that.
series two.
Is he the main character then, Fassbender?
Yes, he is.
Okay,
Yeah, and he's
nice.
flawed. Obviously, he's flawed, and you never fall in love with someone that you're working with, do you? If you're a spy, and he does. And there's all of that, and his daughter gets involved, and lots of third parties. I really want to tell you what happens in the last episode, and I daren't, but I didn't see it coming at all, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Whether it's Slow Horses or whatever you're watching, I love it when the very last one goes. You go, wow.
Yeah.
That's clever. It's not a lazy finish.
Okay, some couple of serious recommendations there. Do you have any sort of guilty pleasures?
I'm going to go with Selling Sunset.
Okay.
Did I say
Can't
that
go
right?
wrong.
Selling a Sunset.
Selling
pronunciation.
Sunset.
I think we're waiting now for series 9.
Gosh.
And I have really enjoyed. It's as far removed from Escape to the Country as you can possibly get.
Oh, I don't know. There's some elements.
Well,
that
I mean, those
crossover.
heels. Jules Hudson in those high heels, walking around showing houses. I just think it's fickle. It's fabulous. I adore looking at the houses. Sometimes I do find the women very annoying. Sisterhood has disappeared out the window. But then I suppose if you're selling a house for $28 million, you want your commission, don't you?
Hell
By the way,
yeah.
we do not get any commission on Escape to the Country. I'm just going to put that out there.
More the pity.
I think it's a little bit of a guilty pleasure. Yeah, the Oppenheim group. And I went to Los Angeles. My husband's band were playing over there, Kadonk, in October last year. And I walked outside where they actually film, and I got very excited. Very excited. I'm a little bit of a fan.
Which band is your husband in?
He's not in one, but he works with one, Iron Maiden.
No way.
Yeah, he's one of the managers. So he said to me,
pretty cool.
it was our wedding anniversary. We've been married 25 years. And he said to me, the band are playing Vegas and then LA. Do you fancy coming out for the gigs? This was sort of the end of September, beginning of October last year. And I'm sure he thought I was busy. And he went, do you fancy coming out? And I went, oh, yes, please. And he sort of went, oh. I've got the wife in Vegas, yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool.
But, yeah, lovely.
The lead singer, isn't he famously pilots the
He
Iron
does,
Maiden
yeah.
airplane.
You know, we're talking huge jumbos, and they put the livery. They had Eddie on the side, which is, if you've ever seen any Iron Maiden artwork, Eddie is the main character. And they put all the dates underneath, and the plane, he flew the whole band around the world on it.
So cool.
Have
isn't
you
it?
been inside the plane?
I have, actually. And he wears the full pilot's uniform. He's a local boy, actually, to us.
Yeah.
And he wears the full pilot's uniform. And we actually bumped into him once in Heathrow. He was flying for, when the band weren't touring, he was flying for somebody else. And I said to him, Bruce, you know, you wear the uniform the whole time. And he said, I'm the pilot.
I love it. I've seen these photos before.
Oh,
He
there
does.
you go.
Yeah, he wears the full.
Yeah, he wears the full
pilot
outfit.
regalia,
And I
yeah.
said, why do you wear the outfit? And he said, because I'm the pilot and people need to know that. And if anything goes wrong, it's all down to me. And I thought, actually, I really respect you for that.
Yeah.
He's amazing, though. He's an incredible guy.
Can you imagine flying a plane like that and also being the lead singer
You
of one of
need
the
to up
biggest
your
rock
game a
bands
bit, Harry.
ever?
I know. I never imagined this morning that we'd be talking about Bruce Dickinson and him flying a plane.
Can you imagine? My husband, they had to make the calls. I'd like to lease a plane, please. I mean, isn't that
pretty
mad?
cool.
Absolutely mad.
Brilliant.
And it's called Ed Force One after
That's
Eddie.
so cool.
And they have a photograph of Ed Force One, their plane, Iron Maiden's plane, and Air Force One together. There was one, I think it was in America somewhere. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is cool, isn't it? Let's do Desert Island Binge, Nicki. Now, Desert Island Binge is where we ask you for a television series, a book and a podcast.
Right.
I mean, it's not an original idea, but it seems
Well,
to
we
work.
like it, though. We like it. It works.
See, I would take Escape to the Country.
Yeah,
Not
that was-
even joking.
That's Al's box set to take to the desert island.
Not
yeah.
even joking. I never get tired of it.
Wow.
What would you pick, Nicki?
Which do you want to go with first? Do you want to go with the book?
Well, let's go with book then. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Pride and Prejudice.
Oh.
Which is an unusual choice, an absolute classic, Jane Austen. And I really struggled at school. I'm not academic at all. I left school at 16, not for want of trying, just that's what people like me did. And I read, Shakespeare, all of that, no. I don't think I've ever read Shakespeare in my life. And then the BBC did an adaptation of Pride and Prejudice as we were learning the book. And it brought it alive for me. And I struggled with the book. I didn't get past chapter 1 or 2. And then I watched the BBC adaptation. And then I went back to the book. And I absolutely love it. It is a brilliantly written book. You think how many years ago it was written. It still stands the test of time. But it also introduced me to these type of historical books because I love history. And this is a great way of learning of the time and the role that women had of that time. So it's going to be Pride and Prejudice. There's a lot of humour, very subtle humour in the book. And I have read it actually quite a few times. So I'm going to use that as my Desert Island book.
So there's a series on BBC iPlayer called Miss Austen with Keely Hawes. Absolutely brilliant. It's about the sister of Jane Austen and what happened to her. It's fantastic. I think you'd like it.
So yeah, this would be right up your street then.
Yeah. I mean, I love all the Shard Lake series and anything to do with history, Elizabethan history, because my education is seriously lacking and I struggled at school. I didn't enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with the school. It's just the way my brain works. But I've learned so much since. And watching things like this and reading, you do learn so much. So Miss Austen, I should try that.
Let's go on to television show.
Is it allowed to be a film or does it have to be a TV
No,
show?
it could be
we're
a
not
film,
precious.
it could
Do
be a
what you want,
series.
Nicki.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm going to go for Bugsy Malone. Actually, weirdly enough, all my choices are from my earlier years. I'm going to go with Bugsy Malone.
That is a great choice.
Because the soundtrack is just phenomenal.
Oh, I love Bugsy
and
Malone.
I wanted to be in it. I am word perfect. And when I was growing up, videos were just really coming in and we taped it. And so I could watch it again and again and again. And I didn't ever have talent as a child growing up. I wasn't a good singer or an actor or anything like that. But if I could be, I'd want to be in Bugsy Malone.
Same. Would you be Tallulah or Blousey?
I'd be Tallulah.
My name is Tallulah.
Would you be Blousey?
Yeah. Because
Blousey.
she was a little bit sexy for me at the time.
Get baby face, get baby face, get baby face. And the music is phenomenal. The score on it is just so good. And I think it really has stood the test of time. So I'm going to go with that. It was nearly the Jungle Book, but Bugsy Malone won.
I like that. That's a great choice. Podcast.
I'm going to go with Midpoint by Gabby Logan. I did it recently, and she's such a brilliant interviewer. And I don't know Gabby, actually. I've always had a lot of respect for her, and it was a brilliant interview. And I ended up literally bawling my eyes out because we talked about my life and some of the things that I've been through. But I think what she does with people, one, she does incredible research, puts me to shame when I
was going to say, it sounds like me and you are.
Yeah. You know the folder down here that says Nicki Chapman?
Yeah. There's only a page. But what she does is she manages to unpick your life, or get you to unpick your life and where you are at the moment. And it's quite revealing, I think. And I think the guests that she has on it, it's very, very clever. And you learn something about them that you might not learn from other interviews that they're doing.
No.
Okay, nice.
No, Gabby is, I mean, she's a good friend, but she's so much more than an amazing sport presenter. She's fantastic at this as well. And it's nice to see her doing more of this sort of stuff, isn't it?
Really, really good.
And that's called Midpoint.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
You can listen
Right.
to my episode.
Oh, nice.
All about how depressing it is to get older.
Oh, Nicki, thank you so much. You've been an amazing guest. Loads of great recommendations too.
Thank you.
And I guess that just leads me to say I'll see you down the
See you
tip.
down the tip,
Yeah.
Or
Or
for next
on Escape
weekend.
to the Country.
Oh, on Escape to the Country, maybe.
Next Christmas, the Jets.
Let's have you on.
Brilliant. Nicki Chapman was fantastic, wasn't she?
Amazing.
Surprising stuff that she recommended. Drive to Survive.
I know.
The Agency.
Yes.
And Bugsy Malone, all in the same episode.
I think Drive to Survive has to be in there because I was not expecting that from Nicki, and I can back her up on that. It is an amazing series, totally gripping. Even if you're not interested in Formula One, I guarantee you'll like it. So let's pop that in there. One more from Nicki, I reckon. Well, she loved the Gabby Logan podcast Midpoint.
It would be lovely to put that in because podcasts are under-celebrated a bit, aren't
Yes, they
so
are.
Midpoint is a fantastic podcast.
All right, let's do that, shall we? Right, that's all we got time for. Don't forget, we want to hear from you about what you're loving right now. So email us, hello@bingepodcastofficial.com, or you can WhatsApp us. The number is in the description.
Binge is a Viral Tribe entertainment production. Join us next time as we help you solve the binge-worthy from the
Binge-worthy.
Bye-bye.